Hi, my name's Clare Bailey, and I'm the retail expert working with Business Lincolnshire to deliver with my colleague Kim a series of playbooks, which are supplemented by these short mini webinar type videos. This is part 5 of 5 for range planning and range reviews. There are others that you'll be able to find on this YouTube channel. And this particular one is about range rationalization and understanding your data. So, what does that mean? Well, for me, I'm very much a data driven thinker. I like logic, I like reason, facts, and figures. I don't tend to make emotional decisions. So, data to me is decision making power. And data led decisions do help you increase and maintain your profitability. Oh, get my teeth in and focus. Because the thing is, without data, I find a lot of businesses feel almost unable to make decisions because they're just not sure, at least with the information and insight available from whether it be your EPOS or any other management information system you have in your business. At least you're able to feel a little bit more secure around the decisions you're making when it comes to what to do, and particularly with product rationalization. Some of the key metrics that we covered in the last session as well are things like the top line sales. That's important, especially volume, because that indicates that people want that product a lot. But they always say sales are vanity and profit is sanity. And cash margin is far more important to you because that's what puts money in your pockets. So, yes, I would include sales, top and bottom performers, in your key metrics because that's what impacts the customer experience. But I'd say cash margin is probably more important from your own personal perspectives. Cash margin is what pays the bills. And then sell through rates. That's really important too. Because when you look at products that move slowly, it may be that they're slow and steady wins the race type products, or it may be that they're on their way out. And that's the thing, is to use these kind of key metrics to spot the over and underperformers early in order to be able to take action. So the action might be, if it's an overperformer, well, crikey, we need to invest in some more stock of that and make sure that we never go out of stock because clearly the customers love it. Underperformers, get rid of that. It's tying up cash flow, costing us money. We're probably going to have to invest in promotional activity and discounting in order to get rid of this stuff. That's not a good thing. So they're the kind of indicators you need to be watching out for. So when it comes to rationalizations, you don't want to go too harsh on this, but fewer, better products are the way forward. A curated range that showcases your expertise and product knowledge, especially if you're an independent retailer or even if you're working in the service sector, consumer facing industries. It's about, they always talk about in restaurants about having a tight menu, for example. A tight range in retail is really important, but not too tight because people don't want to come into your store and think, well, there's nothing here for me. So it's about having sufficient offer without overdoing it, because we've talked about this in previous episodes. We don't want to cannibalize sales between the different products. We want to showcase choice and a curated choice that makes customers feel like they don't need to think that this is perfect. These people have got everything that I need. And then obviously, when you rationalize to fewer and better products, it means you can reinvest the cash flow liberated into the higher performing items, which is what you need to do. Constantly be rationalizing, not so much like a range review where it's looking at everything. These are the little nip tucks that you might notice on a weekly or monthly basis. You might just get rid of one product and invest further in another. Whereas when we talked about range review in the last session, that's much more about the whole range and what is it the customer is presented with. So back to my humorous just one thing, where it's never, never just one thing. If you do have an EPOS, and I am a real strong advocate of EPOS, make sure that you use it properly because it's worth using that data and that insight, and down to receipt level, it can manage so many questions that you might want to ask of that data with very, very simple reporting. And a lot of that will be built into a good quality system. If you don't have an EPOS, maybe it's about time to investigate solutions because there's a lot out there on the market various levels of costs and different methods of payment. But what it does is it gives you that access at the push of a button to really meaningful customer data, sales data, stock data, and everything else as well. Whatever data you do have, it's important to track the things that matter so you can put the cash back in the business and in your pocket. And it's harder now than it's probably been in living memory. So being quite ruthless with data analysis and tracking and management is one of the keys to success. You also have to understand what the data is telling you that perhaps you could act upon, like I say, the quick decisions, the here and now. Are you going to invest in the stars that are going to become your cash cows and exit the dogs? It's not necessarily about looking at the whole range by category. It's like day-to-day product management and getting rid of the stuff that's holding you back. And of course, it's about using your data to stop the guesswork, stop the worry and the fear of making decisions, and start managing your range like a pro. On that note, that's it. I said they'd be short and sweet. But for more information, if you haven't come to this video via the full playbook, you can find that on businesslincolnshire.com/programs/retail-accelerator-program. Obviously, you are on this YouTube channel, and there's many more webinars of about this length on this channel. And if you still would like some more help and support, you can contact your local Growth Hub advisor via businesslincolnshire.com/contact-us. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the series.